Hi, I'm Dustin Lemick, founder and CEO of BriteCo. There's one jewelry mistake I see all the time, and it can become a very expensive problem. Someone buys an engagement ring, inherits a family heirloom, or receives a meaningful piece of jewelry, and then they never get it appraised. Or they got it appraised years ago and never updated it. Then something happens. The ring goes missing, a stone is damaged, a watch is stolen, a bracelet disappears while traveling. And suddenly, they're trying to prove what the item was worth without the right documentation. That's where a professional jewelry appraisal becomes so important. Today, I'm going to explain what an appraisal actually does, why it matters for insurance, and how to avoid the most common mistakes people make. A jewelry appraisal is not just about finding out how much is this worth. It's about creating a professional record of the piece. That record can include the type of jewelry, the materials, gemstone details, measurements, condition, photos, and estimated value. For insurance, that value is especially important because it helps determine how much coverage you actually need. Think about it this way. If you have a $10,000 engagement ring, but your paperwork says it's worth $4,000, you could be drastically underinsured. If your paperwork is outdated, the replacement cost probably has changed. And if you have no paperwork at all, the claims process can become much more difficult than it needs to be. An appraisal gives you a clearer starting point. It says, here's what this piece is, here's what it is worth, and here's what it should be protected for. Here's something a lot of people do not realize. An appraisal value and a resale value are not always the same thing. Usually they're different. For insurance, appraisals often focus on replacement value. That means the cost to replace the item with something comparable. But if you sell the same item, the resale value could be quite different. So when you get an appraisal, ask what type of value the appraiser is giving you. Is it for insurance? Is it for estate purposes? Is it for resale? That context matters a lot, because if your goal is to insure the piece, you want documentation that makes sense for insurance replacement. This is also why working with a qualified appraiser or trusted jeweler is so important. You don't want just a number. You want the right number for the right purpose. Let's talk about old appraisals. If your jewelry was appraised 5, 10, or 15 years ago, that document may not reflect today's replacement cost. It probably doesn't. Materials, gemstone prices, labor, and retail costs can change. And if the piece has been damaged, repaired, resized, reset, or altered, that can also affect the documentation. So even if you already have an appraisal, it may be worth reviewing. Ask yourself, is the description still accurate? Does it include photos? Does it list the important details? Does the value still seem realistic for today's values? If you're not sure, talk to a jeweler or an appraiser. Updating the appraisal may feel like a small housekeeping task, but it can make a big difference if you ever need to file a claim. Jewelry insurance is designed to protect valuable pieces against things like loss, theft, damage, and mysterious disappearance, depending on the policy. But the insurance company needs to know what it's covering. That's where the appraisal comes in. It helps verify the item. It helps establish the value, and it helps make sure that your quote and your coverage are based on true, accurate information. Without an appraisal, you may not know whether you have enough coverage. And relying only on a receipt may not be enough, especially if the item was purchased many years ago, inherited, custom-made, or significantly altered. The appraisal fills in the details. It gives both you and the insurer a much clearer picture. Before you insure your jewelry, here's a simple checklist. First, get a professional appraisal for high-value pieces. Second, make sure the appraisal includes a detailed description of the item. Third, keep copies in a safe place. Fourth, review the appraisal periodically, especially if the item is older or significantly valuable. And fifth, use that appraisal to get the right jewelry insurance quote. This doesn't have to be complicated. At BriteCo, we built our process to make jewelry protection easy. You can check your price online in about 60 seconds. And if you need an appraisal, BriteCo offers online appraisal valuation options for eligible jewelry, with a certified appraisal valuation PDF delivered digitally. The main point is simple. Don't guess, document. Your jewelry may be beautiful, meaningful, expensive, or all three. But if it's not properly appraised, you may not really know what it's worth. And if it's not insured, you may not have the protection you expect when life happens. So take the simple first step. Get your jewelry appraised. Keep the documentation. Then check your price with BriteCo Jewelry Insurance. It takes about 60 seconds to get started, and it can help give you the confidence that the pieces you care about are protected. Drop a comment below with the piece you've been meaning to get appraised, and follow BriteCo for more simple jewelry insurance tips.